Chicago Sky, my goodness gracious. Once again, celebrating Angel Reese's powerful double-double last night. We got a couple of things. We got a WNBA announcer actually clowning Angel Reese during the game. That normally doesn't happen. Did he not get the memo? You're not supposed to do that. I mean, players in this league check those boxes.
What happens when your brightest star shines so hard that the numbers pop off the box score every single night, but the team behind her keeps sinking lower and lower? That's exactly the strange reality surrounding Angel Reese, one of the most talked about young players in basketball today.
By the way, people gamble on these games. So last night, a double-double. Angel Reese got a double-double, and the Chicago Sky, of course, celebrated said double-double. They lost 79-69. But my goodness, that didn't stop them, of course, from putting out this tweet right here. Player of the game. I mean, last time I checked, player of the games are usually for the winning squad.
On paper, she looks unstoppable. Night after night, she's hauling down rebounds like her hands are magnets, stacking up double-doubles with such consistency that it's become a story in itself. To some fans, she's already writing her own legend.
Angel Reese, love those missed shot, offensive boards, second opportunities.
But here's the catch. The Chicago Sky, her team, keep losing. And not just the occasional off night. We're talking about a record that looks more like a cautionary tale than a contender's stat sheet. They're dropping games left and right, often by double digits, and every loss feels heavier than the last. That paradox, dominant individual stats in the middle of constant team failure, creates the perfect storm for criticism.
Oh my God. Clowned Angel Reese. They're going to put it up. They might miss. They're going to put it up again. They might miss that. And then finally, eventually, maybe they will make a bucket.
Normally, the way the league spins this is predictable. Highlight the player's individual greatness, plaster it across social media, and hope fans forget the loss column. A double-double sounds good no matter what the scoreboard says, right? At least that's the strategy. But recently, something broke through the usual polite broadcast commentary. Something that set the internet ablaze.
That's hilarious. This guy will probably be fired by tomorrow. This guy will probably lose his job by tomorrow. Once the Angel Reese fans hear the fact that he just roasted Angel Reese over her me-bounds, we-bounds, whatever she's calling them these days, yeah, they're going to come for him.
During yet another Sky defeat, an announcer didn't just call the game, he called out Angel Reese herself. Not in a mild, analytical way. He roasted her, live on air. His words were sharp, sarcastic, and designed to stick. Fans watching at home couldn't believe what they were hearing. Was this really happening in the WNBA broadcast booth? And that's where our story takes off, because what followed wasn't just another box score debate. It was a clash of narratives, the celebrated rookie phenom versus the reality check of a frustrated announcer. And the fallout? Pure chaos. But before we get to the roast itself, you need to understand just how deep Angel Reese's rebounding dominance really goes, and why, for some people, those rebounds don't mean what they appear to mean. Angel Reese isn't just grabbing rebounds. She's redefining what it means to control the glass. Since her rookie debut, she's been on a tear, pulling down double-digit rebounds almost every single night. Analysts have compared her work in the paint to legends of the game, pointing out how she positions her body, anticipates missed shots, and outmuscles opponents twice her size. If you watch her closely, it's not luck, it's instinct and effort. Her streak of double-doubles became so consistent that it started making league history. For weeks at a time, she stacked them like building blocks, breaking rookie records and forcing commentators to pay attention. The Chi-Town Barbie, as fans call her, doesn't shy away from the dirty work under the rim. While some players live for highlight reel dunks or flashy threes, Angel built her brand on grit, outworking her matchup, snagging loose balls, and piling up second-chance points. And yet, there's the uncomfortable truth. Rebounds by themselves don't always translate to wins. It's one thing to control the boards, it's another thing to convert that into victories. And while Angel Reese's stat sheet often looks like it belongs to a superstar, the Chicago Sky's record has been downright ugly. Fans have noticed, commentators have noticed, and opponents? They've noticed too, but with a smirk. The frustration isn't just about losing, it's about the disconnect between celebrating individual dominance and ignoring the bigger picture. When the team is sitting near the bottom of the standings, fans start asking questions. Are these rebounds really helping? Or are they just numbers that look good in a headline? That's the context that set the stage for the viral roast, because one announcer finally said what some people were already whispering. But what he said, and how he said it, wasn't just a critique. It was a full-on demolition job, the kind of soundbite that gets replayed, memed, and argued about for weeks. Picture this. The sky are down again. The energy in the arena feels flat, and the broadcasters are filling dead air the way they always do by talking about individual stats. Angel Reese had once again hit another double-double. On paper, it looked impressive. But then the announcer, instead of praising her outright, went in a completely different direction. With a smirk in his voice, he delivered a line that made viewers sit up straight. Angel Reese loves those missed shot offensive boards. Second opportunities. If Chicago's gonna beat you, that's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna put it up, they're gonna miss, they're gonna put it up again, they might miss again, but eventually, they're gonna get a bucket. Silence. Then laughter. Not from the booth, but from fans at home who couldn't believe what they'd just heard. Was this man really accusing Angel Reese of padding her rebounding stats by bricking her own shots? Yes. Yes, he was. And he wasn't subtle about it either. The tone dripped with sarcasm, like he had been waiting for this moment all game. Most broadcasters shy away from this kind of honesty. They know players watch the replays, they know social media will slice their words into viral clips, and they usually keep criticism gentle. But not this time. This time, the gloves came off. The roast wasn't just about Angel. It was about the Sky's entire identity. The implication was clear. The Chicago Sky are so bad offensively that their best strategy is missing shots so Angel Reese can scoop up rebounds until they finally stumble into a basket. Brutal. And fans immediately took sides. The moment hit Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube within hours. Memes flooded in. Some fans replayed the clip over and over, laughing at the bluntness. Others were outraged, accusing the announcer of disrespecting one of the hardest-working young stars in the league. On one side, you had critics saying, he's not wrong. Those rebounds aren't leading to wins, they're just empty stats. They compared her to players in the past who racked up numbers but never changed their team's fortunes. Some even called her the WNBA version of stat-padding bigs from the NBA, guys who looked great on paper but never carried teams anywhere. On the other side, you had loyal Angel Reese supporters. They fired back with arguments about her lack of support, about how rebounding is one of the toughest skills in the game, and how dismissing her effort was disrespectful to her work ethic. They pointed out that she's a rookie, still adjusting and carrying a weak roster on her back. What do you expect her to do? Score, rebound, defend, and run the offense at the same time, one fan posted. The split was sharp, and that polarization only fueled more conversation. Every hot take, every argument, every meme, more eyeballs on Angel Reese, which ironically only made her an even bigger figure in the league's storylines. Love her or hate her, people were talking. And in today's sports world, being the center of attention is its own kind of power. But underneath the noise, one real question was forming. Do Angel Reese's rebounds mean anything if the Chicago Sky keep losing? And if they don't, who's really at fault? The player? Or the team built around her? This is where things get tricky. Because basketball, at its core, is about more than just raw numbers. A player can score 30 points in a loss, and it doesn't matter. A player can grab 20 rebounds, but if the other team shoots 50% from the field, what good are they? Context matters. And in Angel Reese's case, the context is damning. The Sky, even with her double-doubles, have one of the worst records in the league. Their offense sputters, their defense leaks. And while Reese's presence in the paint is undeniable, it hasn't been enough to turn the tide. The announcer's roast may have sounded harsh, but it struck at that truth. Celebrating rebounds in the middle of constant losses feels hollow. It's like putting a ribbon on a trash can and calling it a gift. The presentation is nice, but the substance underneath hasn't changed. And fans know it. That's why the criticism sticks. Because deep down, even Reese's biggest supporters can't deny the team isn't winning. And in sports, winning cures everything. Without it, every stat gets scrutinized. But here's the flip side. What more can Angel Reese really do? She's a rookie, playing her heart out every night, and doing her job at an elite level. Is it fair to put the entire team's failures on her shoulders? Or is she just the easiest target because she's the most visible? These are the questions swirling around the league. And Angel, for her part, hasn't exactly stayed quiet about criticism. If you know Angel Reese, you know she thrives on the noise. This is the same player who famously called her rebounds me-bounds, coining her own word to stake ownership of her style. This is the same player who leaned into the villain role after heated matchups with rivals like Caitlin Clark. She's not afraid to clap back, not afraid to embrace the hate, and definitely not afraid to turn criticism into motivation. That's part of her allure. She doesn't play the safe superstar role. She talks her shut, she stands by it, and she owns the spotlight, whether it's flattering or not. And in today's sports culture, that kind of unapologetic authenticity is magnetic. So when an announcer takes a shot at her, you know she's not just brushing it off. She's storing it. She's plotting her response. Maybe not on Twitter, maybe not in a press conference, but definitely in the way she approaches the next game. Angel Reese is the type of player who wants to prove you wrong. Runtech. And that's why this story isn't going away. Because criticism doesn't diminish her, it amplifies her. Every slight becomes another piece of fuel. But the bigger issue still looms. Can that energy translate into wins for a team that looks broken? Here's where the Chicago Sky come in. This isn't just an Angel Reese problem. This is a franchise problem. The Sky are sitting near the bottom of the standings with a record that screams dysfunction. They've battled injuries, inconsistent lineups, and questionable roster moves. Their offense looks stagnant, their defense collapses, and too often, the plan seems to boil down to hope Angel gets the rebound. And survival doesn't win championships or even playoff spots. Fans are frustrated, calling for management to surround Reese with real help. They want scoring options, defensive anchors, and leadership. Because right now, it feels like Angel is playing one-woman basketball, and no matter how great she is, no one wins that way. Ron Ress. The announcer's roast, harsh as it was, exposed the uncomfortable truth. Celebrating double-doubles is a distraction tactic. The Sky's social media may post the highlight graphics, but the losses pile up regardless. And eventually, fans stop buying the spin. The crisis is clear. Angel Reese can't save this team alone. And unless something changes, her incredible rebounding streak might go down as one of the most bittersweet runs in league history. So where does this leave us? Angel Reese keeps stacking boards, the Sky keeps stacking losses, and the league keeps buzzing about whether her dominance is a blessing or a mirage. The announcer's roast will live on as one of those viral soundbites that captures a moment perfectly. Harsh? Yes. Unfair? Maybe. But unforgettable? Absolutely. And sometimes, that's all it takes to shift a narrative. The real question is what happens next. Does Angel Reese rise above the criticism, proving she's more than just a rebound machine? Does Chicago finally build a team worthy of her effort? Or will she remain trapped in a cycle of highlight stats and low-light losses? One thing's for sure, love her or hate her, Angel Reese refuses to be ignored. And if she has her way, this won't be the story people remember. This will be the setup for something much bigger. Because in basketball, as in life, the numbers don't always tell the whole story.